Hello, hello, hello. Happy commencement. It's so wonderful to see all of you. And I see the graduates are coming back in. Yay. So I begin by acknowledging that our college is in Bennington, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mohican and the Abenaki. Yeah. We honor the land and the people who have been its stewards through the generations. We are grateful to be here. Tonight marks the beginning of the celebration of the 91st annual commencement of Bennington College. Congratulations, class of 2026. Yay! Welcome, trustees and faculty members, especially Ikuko Yoshida, faculty member in Cultural Studies and Languages, and our faculty speaker and student speaker, Andy Farrell. Where is Andy? Andy, where are you? Please stand up. Yay! And we are thrilled to have New York Times bestselling author, political commentator, cultural critic, Molly Jong Fast, MFA, class of 2004, addressing the graduating class tomorrow. Molly, please stand, please stand. And let's hear another round of applause for the beautiful music you heard earlier. Thank you to the Bennington Balkan Ensemble. And their director, Dr. Joseph Alpar, for performing. Okay, where's Joe? Where's Joe? Somewhere. The playlist you heard during dinner was a mix of recorded performances and compositions by our seniors. And thanks in advance to our musicians for tonight's dessert reception, the BC Jazz Combo. Thank you to all of our incredible, talented musicians, only at Bennington. I am pleased, really hugely pleased, to announce that our Board of Trustees has selected Miriam Campbell as this year's recent graduate trustee. Student extraordinaire, she is. It was a very competitive slate, and we appreciate all of the candidates' enthusiasm and time. Miriam, once again, congratulations. And now, class of 2026, it's your turn to congratulate yourselves and each other. Well done, well done. You have inspired, collaborated, and supported each other in countless moments. You're better for having been at Bennington and better for having been at Bennington together. Congratulations to all the families and friends on Zoom who supported these amazing students with love, with intellectual inspiration, with laughter, and with encouragement. When I ask students what they like most about Bennington, so many of you describe faculty members, how much they care, and all the ways they have contributed to your transformation. They have truly helped you shape your studies and, in many cases, your lives. Graduates, please show your appreciation to them with a round of applause. Would the faculty please stand? Would the faculty stand? This year's faculty speaker is Ikuko Yoshida. She is joining us tonight to deliver a toast to seniors. Ikuko has been a faculty member at Bennington since 1998, where she teaches, you would never know it, she teaches Japanese language and culture, Japanese aesthetics, ikebana, the Japanese art of flower arranging, and foreign language education. Her research interests include second language acquisition, pedagogy, critical thinking, technology in language and learning, and Japanese aesthetics. Her courses are designed to foster not only linguistic proficiency, but also the development of cognitive skills, particularly critical thinking, through engagement with various content as Japanese literature, art, history, and religion. We are so delighted to welcome you, Ikuko, to the podium.
I need glasses. All right. Good evening, graduates, colleagues, friends, honored guests, and those joining us online. Thank you for the warm introduction. It's a profound honor to stand here this evening to celebrate your outstanding accomplishments and this significant milestone in your lives. Today belongs to you, and it is a joyful celebration of your hard work, perseverance, and dedication. Congratulations to each of you on reaching this incredible moment and on your well-deserved success. May your future be filled with continued growth and fulfillment. Today also belongs to those who supported you along the way. No achievement is accomplished alone. The engagement and dedication of your supporters have made this moment possible. So please give them a round of applause. One of the greatest privileges of teaching at a small liberal arts institution like Bennington College is the opportunity to know our students, not only as scholars, but as people. From the moment students arrive on campus to the day they graduate, faculty have the rare opportunity of witnessing both academic growth and personal transformation over 4 remarkable years. As a one-person discipline faculty member in Japanese language and culture, I am deeply grateful for the meaningful relationships cultivated through conversation, curiosity, and shared learning. My classes often begin with small conversations, discussing weekend activities, dining hall meals, assignments, life's challenges, and even personal stories like who's dating whom. These small talks foster a profound sense of belonging. I especially remember the day I shared my story about being stopped by a police officer. I explained to my students that I told the officer that I was not speeding when I was stopped. However, the officer glanced at me and simply said, "That is why." Then my students and I debated whether I should drive up to 10 miles above the speed limit or drive under it. I tried to argue by giving the definition of word limit, but I was unsuccessful and learned that there are unspoken rules in society. Seeing my students debate with me, I was impressed by the significant improvement in their Japanese language and enjoyed analyzing our society together. Beyond those everyday conversations, I have also had the privileges of watching you engage deeply with ideas, comparing perspectives, questioning assumptions, reflecting on art, music, science, culture, religion, and society, and ultimately developing your own voices and perspectives. Over the years, I have come to know your favorite subjects, favorite dining hall meals, frustrations, ambitions, and values. More importantly, I have watched you grow into thoughtful, compassionate, and intellectually courageous individuals. Witnessing that transformation is one of the most meaningful aspects of teaching. When I reflect on education and my teaching experiences at Bennington College, I see education as a powerful exchange that transforms everyone involved. While students come here to learn, we educators also learn from students. We learn from your resilience, your curiosity, your willingness to ask difficult questions, and your determination to create a better future. You arrive here ready to learn, and now you're about to leave equipped not only with skills and knowledge, but also with the capacity to make meaningful difference in the world. In Japanese, the word for students, 学生, can be understood as born to learn. We are born to learn. I cherish this meaning because it reminds us that learning is not simply something we do in a classroom. We are all destined to learn. It's an ongoing process of understanding the world around us, and it's part of being human. I was raised by a mother who experienced childhood during World War II. She often reminded me that knowledge is one of the few things no one can take away from you. Material possessions, jewelry, homes, cars, status, may come and go. But the knowledge you gain, the discipline you develop, and the wisdom you earn through education remain with you for life. During your years here, you have learned theories, methods, formulas, and technical skills. But perhaps more importantly, you have learned how to think critically, how to listen respectfully, how to disagree thoughtfully, and how to persevere when success is uncertain. Those lessons will stay with you. As you move forward, nurture the curiosity that initially brought you here. Carry your knowledge with humility. Contribute towards society with integrity. Demonstrate a spirit of generosity to others. Courageously embrace lifelong learning. So, let us celebrate the knowledge and skills you have gained, the friendships and memories you have created, and the future you are now prepared to build. Please raise your glass to the class of 2026. May your journey be meaningful, impactful, and deeply fulfilling. Cheers!
Thank you, Ikuko. It was really heartfelt and very beautiful. Wonderful. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce Andy Farrell, the student speaker for the class of 2026. Andy Farrell is a philosophy and computer science student focused on exploring the theoretical possibilities of machine consciousness. For the past year, they have served as the first student representative on the advisory board for the new Bennington Center for Artificial Intelligence, an organization focused on pursuing critical education about AI and providing a voice in the wider AI conversation for Bennington students, faculty, and staff. Andy has spent much of their time at Bennington focused on building community, working as a first-year forum co-leader, running drag club, and co-creating the now annual Jennings Haunted House. In their free time, they work as a mentor for high school students and as a tutor for K-12 students. Beyond Bennington, they intend to explore machine consciousness and the theory of computation in graduate school. Please join me in welcoming Andy Farrell.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be able to speak to you all today. I thought a lot about how to start this speech, and as I sat and considered what exactly I wanted to say, the opening escaped me for the longest time. So I figured I might as well start with a classic. It was a dark and stormy night. I'm sure you all know that one. I heard it first as a joke, something you say when you don't know how to start a story. So I was absolutely baffled when I opened Madeleine L'Engle's A Wrinkle in Time, and that was the very first line. Why did nobody tell her that was a cliche? Who let her write that? It was the very first page, the very first line. It was a dark and stormy night for Meg Murray, and it was the beginning of an obsession for me. That book has followed me for years, not just because I remember every plot point and planet name, although I've read it so often those little details are just as sharp as anything else. It has followed me because it was my first contact with the idea of pure existential horror. For those of you who haven't read it, one of the central points of the story is a planet called Camazotz, where everyone is being telepathically controlled into total assimilation. It's a planet devoid of uniqueness, a perfectly frictionless hive mind society where every child stands in the driveway and bounces a ball in perfect unison. On Camazotz, no one is irreplaceable. No one is singular. Everyone is perfectly interchangeable. And spoilers for a book published in 1962, one of our main characters that we come to know and love, Charles Wallace, gets absorbed into it. He loses every individual characteristic that the author spent chapters cultivating, and we spent hours cheering on. We as the reader spend the whole book watching this young boy grow and learn and develop, and it's all swallowed up into a blank-faced sea in less than a moment. Terrifying, right? The idea that a person could lose themselves inside something vast and impersonal like that a mind and a life and a voice could be absorbed into a system so large that it no longer recognized them as person at all. In the universe of A Wrinkle in Time, the danger is that people are flattened, made identical and predictable and light enough to manage. Now, I know it sounds like I'm going to make some point about individuality now, something really generic, and encourage you to just, be yourselves. But while that would be a good and noble point to make, it is not mine, I promise. It would be so beyond tacky to say that, especially at a school like Bennington. If you don't know how to be yourselves by now, I genuinely have no clue what you've been doing for the last 4 years. So that's not what I'm going to talk about. Because what ultimately saves poor little Charles Wallace is, it's not his outstanding strength or exceptional brilliance or any other special individual characteristic. It's that someone remembers who he is. Someone insists on his particularities and holds him in place through her clear view of him. Someone knows him. Being known is a type of gravity, a centered force that allows others to orbit freely, dipping in and out of the surrounding field. More importantly, being known is a dignity. Once someone is known, they're much harder to ignore and much harder to erase. It allows us, these fleeting creatures, to have weight in the world. It means your absence is noticed and your name is remembered. You have a grip on existing in some true, tangible, provable way. Here at Bennington, in this very small place, we learn that very well. It came upon us quietly in our own hallways and kitchens, sneaking up on us during late-night end-of-the-world stargazing and side-by-side VAPA all-nighters. It settled in through borrowed dishes and shared meals, in moments when someone noticed we hadn't shown up and went looking. In a place like this, anonymity is hard, which frankly sometimes sucks. We all know that. It's not hard to feel like you are seen too often and remembered too easily. For better or for worse, your stories are told, and then probably they're told again, and then again, then again. Oh, and then yeah, that's everyone. Over time, without anyone announcing it, you begin to matter in one another's lives. I don't say that to be sentimental, it just is. Knowing someone's name is an inevitability. Knowing someone's face is a fact of life here. That kind of visibility is not always comfortable. It means there's very little room here to vanish quietly. People remember what you said last semester. They remember how you treated someone that they love. They remember when you were kind and when you weren't. Whether you want them to or not, they remember both when you were struggling and when you were soaring. Living in a small community means being held, sometimes more closely than you would choose. But it also means that when you falter, you rarely fall alone because there's usually a hand already reaching for you. When you take a risky leap into something new, everyone watches with bated breath and a way deep down hope for you to land it well. That is the strange, demanding gift of being known. You are accountable to other people's memories of you, and you are protected by them also. Very soon, we will leave this small place, and the world will grow much larger. It will grow faster and louder and less patient. It will be full of systems that do not know our names and institutions that can never learn our faces. Decisions will be made at distances that feel abstract, by people you've never heard of and autonomous devices that don't even have the capability to register that you passed through. All these processes are designed to move quickly and efficiently and impersonally. Most of these systems aren't purposely cruel, they're just indifferent. And increasingly, they are supported by technologies that promise to smooth the world over even further. We watch things get glossy and airbrushed and generated into smooth perfection from thin air. Friction is cut from the world inch by inch, and they keep telling us that this is progress. But we know what is lost when friction disappears, and lives become light. We are entering a world that is very good at making people weightless, and it is not a maneuver that results in some undefinable emotional effect. It is the definitional factor in who receives care. It directly impacts who is protected, who is welcomed, and who is allowed to stay. It divides whose stories are heard and whose are silenced. It decides who's allowed to have dignity. The existence of the planet Camazos in A Wrinkle in Time is a statement about power and what happens when intelligence is separated from responsibility. It serves as a warning about systems growing too large to notice the lives moving inside them. It is a story about what happens when no one has weight anymore. The big wide world we're stepping into is trending towards that story too. But I don't think we should mistake warning for prophecy. The world is frightening, but it is not hopeless. Camazos is not the whole universe, it's one planet. The story does not tell us to believe that systems always win. It asks us to believe that love, attention, and stubborn particularity can still interrupt them. As you approach this world, remember that we know that this interruption is possible. We have lived it. We've experienced what it is like to be heavy in one another's lives. And that was work. It was the hard work of learning names and staying late, the intentional care of remembering birthdays and boundaries and fears and hopes, the effort of showing up more than just once or twice and refusing to disappear when things get hard. It was built on that stubbornness and labor. Now the temptation will be to let that go. It would be so easy to become lighter, to move faster, keep fewer records, forget. It would probably be really quite pleasant to have nobody in your business at 8:30 in the morning. and to know that nobody in your immediate vicinity remembers that thing you really regret doing in freshman year. It'd be so much easier to protect yourself by staying distant. That temptation will be strong. It always is. Because the truth is that weight is demanding, and dignity takes both time and concentrated effort. Community often interrupts convenience, but it is also what makes life real. The most important thing you leave behind when you exit someplace or another is whatever weight you had in other people's lives. After 4 years here, we are uniquely equipped to chase community down with the fervor that it deserves. So here's my hope for you, or if I call it what it really is, my plea to you. Wherever you go, build small worlds inside larger ones. Learn the faces around you, keep their names in your mind. Create spaces where people are heavy in each other's lives. Refuse weightlessness and create friction where it matters. Do everything you can to make dignity unavoidable. We are living in a moment that desperately needs people who know how to do this. You know how. You learned it here. You leave carrying proof that you have weight and carrying the responsibility to give it to others. That responsibility is not abstract. It will show up in very ordinary and concrete ways. It will show up when someone new enters a room and doesn't know where to stand. It will show up when a friend starts becoming quieter and everyone else is too busy to ask why. It will show up when a workplace or institution or family or community decides that someone is too difficult to keep noticing. In these moments, the question won't be whether you believe in community as a beautiful idea. In those moments, the question will be whether you are willing to do the inconvenient thing that makes community real. Whether you are willing to remember, whether you are willing to let someone matter enough to disrupt you. And it may not be easy to make those choices at every point where it really counts, but to paraphrase A Wrinkle in Time, do not despair. You think I would have brought you here if there were no hope. I'm asking you to do a difficult thing, but I am confident that you can do it. And my fellow graduates, I am so very confident in all of you in this endeavor. May you go into the wider world and make it heavier, with care and community and courage. Thank you to everyone who makes Bennington the community that it is, and congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Andy, for your beautiful and remarkable speech with care, community, and courage. Thank you to Ikuko for sharing your words of inspiration. Thank you again to the Bennington Balkan Ensemble and their director, Dr. Joseph Alpar, for performing. And thanks to the BC Jazz Combo for the music at tonight's dessert reception. So tomorrow you graduate. Yeah. It is not an ending, but truly, as its name implies, a commencement, a new beginning. We celebrate you as you finish one plan and begin another. I hope you will enjoy Bennington's commencement weekend, tradition, and all of the opportunities to celebrate one another. Everyone is welcome to mingle with the graduates and their families at the dessert reception at the Student Center. The ceremony will begin under the tent tomorrow. Is that correct, Nicole? Yes, okay, got it right. As Nicole would say, please be here promptly at 9:15 tomorrow for the conferring of degrees. The ceremony begins at 10 a.m. sharp. See you then for more joy and celebration.